Hello, it's week 15 of season 7 of the Andy Griffith Show. This week's episode title is A New Doctor in Town. Dr. Dennett has left Nayderry after 40 years of service, and the new doctor coming to town is named Dr. Teeterson, and he'll be coming tomorrow. And Dr. Dennett said he doesn't know him, but Andy says he comes very highly recommended otherwise. And Aunt Dee says it'll be strange putting the health and well-being of everyone in town into the hands of a perfect stranger. And then later, Floyd and Clara are griping to each other about their ailments when they see the new doctor drive into town in the sports car. He's real young, and Clara can't believe that he's already been through medical school. And he says he has, and he's real cheerful about it. So they give him directions to Doc Dennett's old practice. And Andy comes up, and Clara and Floyd say, the new doctor's in town, and he's just a child. And Andy says, well, there are a lot of young doctors successfully practicing. How about just give him a chance? And then Aunt Dee tells Andy that she thinks he's too young, too. And Andy says, well, let's invite him over for supper one night, and we'll have Floyd and Clara come by, too. And then once all y'all get to know him, you might feel better about him. And Aunt Dee says okay. And Andy says he'll ask him. And he'll have Helen come too. Meanwhile, Dr. Teeterson is having trouble getting anyone to come to his practice, or even to be nice to him on the street. But then Andy comes in to welcome him to town and to make the dinner invitation. It's going to be tonight at 7 o'clock, and Dr. Teeterson accepts. But at the supper, Clara and Floyd are still pretty unimpressed with him, and they're hard on him. Floyd says right to his face, you're a bachelor. I bet you'll be out on dates on Saturday night. But your predecessor, Dr. Bennett, was always here 24/7 for emergencies. And Dr. Teeterson tries to card the turkey because Andy is dizzy in the kitchen. But he's real clumsy with the knife. And after he leaves, Clara and Floyd say that don't look good. A doctor not being able to handle a knife. And Andy and Helen defend him. They say they should give him a chance. And then Ulti says his throat hurts, and they're worried that it's his tonsils. And Helen says go see Dr. Teeterson. And Andy says no, let's just have Ulti gargle tonight and see how he feels in the morning. But the next morning, Ulti says he don't feel any better. So Andy says, okay, let's go see Dr. Peterson. But we can see he's not entirely comfortable with it, now that it's his own son he's talking about, in spite of what he said before, that everyone should give the new doctor a chance. And the doctor says those tonsils are going to have to come out. And he can see that Andy's not entirely comfortable about it, even though the doctor tells him this is one of the simplest operations around. So he tells Andy that he's welcome to go get a second opinion. And Andy says no, but he still ducks away from setting a definite date for the operation. And Floyd sees Andy later in the day and he says, so I heard you're going to let your own son be the doctor's test case. And Andy tells Aunt Dee that he can take Opie to a doctor in Mount Pilot for a second opinion to make Aunt Dee feel better. Then Helen is sitting there, and she says, no, Andy, that would be to make you feel better, after you defended the doctor as being qualified. She says the sheriff should be the first one in town to show that he trusts the new doctor to set an example. So Andy and Helen take Opie in for the operation that weekend, which is the first date that the doctor had suggested in the first place. And Aunt Bee doesn't come. She says she's got a headache. And after Opie goes in with the doctor, Andy and Helen sit in the waiting room, and Andy is obviously uncomfortable. But it goes well, and soon Opie is at home, feeling happy and eating ice cream. And Clara and Floyd are there, and now they say they'll go to Dr. Teeterson with their ailments. And that night, Opie says he wants to be a doctor, and he shows Andy and Aunt Dee some things that Dr. Teeterson taught him. We'll see you next week for episode 16.